Hello, it's Judith here with this week's video. And last week I talked about hypnosis. What is it? What is it like to be in hypnosis? So this week I'm going to talk about what we actually do once I have put my client into hypnosis. What's the therapy bit? And the therapy bit can be very varied. So in hypnosis, I can do some of the more well-known therapies like cognitive behavioral therapy or an NLP technique. And the reason that I will do those things in hypnosis rather than out of hypnosis, because a lot of them can also be done out of hypnosis, is because of what I said last time about what the official definition of a state of hypnosis is, which is it's a state of focused relaxation. So if I'm doing, say, a cognitive behavioral bit of therapy, my client is relaxed, which means they are very open to what I am suggesting, very open to learning, making changes. And they're also very focused on what we're doing because it's a state of focused relaxation. So distractions are kept at bay. The minds do wander in hypnosis just as they do in meditation, but I very carefully point out to my clients that all you have to do is just gently, kindly guide your mind back to what I'm talking about. So yeah, it's much, much more focused, and the mind wanders a lot less in hypnosis than it does out of it. In addition to those techniques which can be done either in or out of hypnosis, I will do things that really are only done or should only be done in hypnosis, and that is things that are in effect a story or a metaphor, a journey. And that is because that's the language that the unconscious mind likes, and quite often we're dealing with things that are in the unconscious mind. But also because we are generally dealing with emotions. Typically, the primary emotion is fear. Whether people come to me for anxiety or for a phobia, the fundamental emotion that they're experiencing is fear. In the case of anxiety, they're generally fearing what might happen in the future. In the case of a phobia, obviously, they have very specific fears like heights or flying or driving, which I talked about recently. So we are dealing with a very powerful negative emotion. And we all, me included, even now, will try to solve issues we're having with difficult emotions using the conscious brain. Now, the conscious mind is a thinking machine. It's a problem-solving machine. It likes to take a problem, work out what the end result is, and plan the steps to achieve that end result. So we've got this problem, we need to be here, we do this, 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 and this, and then we'll be there. And that works perfectly for practical problems. When we're working with emotions, what tends to happen, almost inevitably happens, is we plan some steps. Our conscious mind plans some nice, sensible steps, some nice logical steps. And we try those steps and we don't move. We stay where we are. There's no progress. So then we think of something else and we try that and we don't move. We make no progress, and over again, to the point of frustration and despondency, and I just don't know what to do, which is the point generally people get to me when they come and see me. So that logical problem-solving bit of our mind is no good with difficult emotions. What works really well in hypnosis is a story or a metaphor that helps us to resolve whatever's going on in a very gentle, natural way. And thirdly, and I've talked about this quite a lot, is when I'm working with a phobia, I will use mental rehearsal in hypnosis, because mental rehearsal, just practicing being different in the feared situation, is exceedingly effective, almost 100% effective. So basically, the client will have got into a habit of being fearful in certain situations, let's say in an aeroplane when flying. And generally, those are the situations within that are very predictable. You know, it's takeoff, landing, and turbulence, and the anxiety that leads up to actually getting to the airport and getting on the plane. And all we're doing is just practicing feeling very, very different in those situations, practicing them over and over again until we feel really, really comfortable. And that works because our brain learns equally well from an imagined experience as it does from a real experience. And we all know that. Whether you suffer from an extreme version of anxiety, so you're anxious 24/7, you know that what you're anxious about is something that hasn't yet happened. You are often catastrophizing, often imagining worst case scenarios, and you are believing them when you've no idea. They're almost certainly not going to happen, and even if they do happen, they're not going to be that bad. But even if you haven't suffered from anxiety like that, you've been nervous about an exam, nervous about an interview, and it is the thought of it going horribly wrong that makes you more and more nervous. So you know, whoever you are watching this video, that you can just imagine something negative, something going wrong, and your brain will believe it. So we can use that to turn it round to a positive way of thinking about a particular situation. And you can use it for exams and interviews as well as phobias. Okay, I think that's me for now. What I'm planning to do next video is carry on the theme a little bit and talk about how you go about choosing a therapy and a therapist, because it's a really important decision. If you've got to the point that I mentioned earlier that most people get to before they seek help, you need to make the right decisions, and you're probably not in the best state to make those decisions. So I shall talk about that next time. Until then, have a good week, stay safe, and enjoy whatever sunshine comes our way. Okay then, bye for now.